Harbor Tools thing in the mail, and right there, that 45 watt solar panel kit, basically what was sitting here on this frame, and these 3 panels came. I did this project about 3 years ago, and they're $189 now. I think I got this on sale for $169, and they're pretty much a glorified battery charger when you get them. You know, they're thing about electric, whether it's direct current or AC or alternating, is the bigger the wire, the better it's going to work. You know, less resistance it's going to have. And if you can see here, I know it's kind of a cumbersome deal, but I thought if everybody could see it, it'd be the best way to explain it. That these come with a real fine little wire on them, which ain't so bad if you're going from the solar panel to there, like I am. But that's where I ganged everything together, the 3 panels in a box, and I just used an extension cord plug. You know, so you could use an extension cord to plug into these packs, and where I got them going into my house, you can do that. It unplugs there, and if anybody wants to, I kind of like just siliconed around the box, and then used some plate foam, mounted that up there like that, and it's been out there 3 years, no problem with the water or nothing. And but that way, if you need to take it out and do a workshop somewhere, you can get your neighbor to help you move it, and then run around out. But that was my reasoning. And on that, I have a bigger cable than this running into my house. That I don't know. I think this is about a 14, and I think I got about a 12 or a 10 gauge wire that's neoprene and weatherproof and stuff. But one of the things that I was just, you know, looking into this whole solar panel deal online and checking out what the big boys were doing, and they had like, well, they were between $12,000 and $22,000, you know, and I was looking at them and how they were mounting them up, and they put them all, basically they're usually putting them on the roof in one spot. That's it, you know, and they calculate, you know, the sun and the, you know, how the sun is going to move, and that's where they bolt them down and give you that where they're going to make the most power. And so that's why I came up with this little deal. Is I took a piece of womanize, and I know it's got this real thick foil stuff on it. I just thought reflecting couldn't hurt, but what I did is made mine so that it's you know, sits about this high off the ground, and you can lock it down, and that's what these handles are for, is you can spin it, you can turn it. You don't have to turn it very often, you know, just every couple, 3 months, about 15 degrees, and that way you can keep it right lined up on the sun and get 100% sun all the time, winter, whatever. So that seems to be working pretty good. I don't know, made sense to me, like I say. Not a certified solar panel, I don't know, graduate of any college or anything, but what I did is ran from the solar panel into my big cable, and then it went to the little solar panel box that came with a solar panel, which basically does not much. But then you want to go to an inverter, which is a kind of, they call them inverters, they work like converters, but instead of taking AC to AC, they're converting DC voltage to AC voltage, so that you can use, you know, like the DC voltage is like what's in your car and stuff like that. They're changing that to alternating current, which is like house current. And Harbor Tools does sell inverter boxes, but that's the beef of the whole system, and I went ahead and bought like a Cobra. That was one of the most expensive parts, and I've never had a problem with it. And you know, that one was about $179 for the box, but and then you know, you just plug your appliances right into this. And if we, I don't know, anybody got anything they want to plug in?
I wish I get you a fuse for that thing.
Does anybody have an iPhone charger?
I can go get my tablet charger if you want to run that.
Anything at all.
Here, hold on, I'll be right back.
Plug in your
Yeah,
extension cord,
sure.
though.
Mine's like almost dead. I'd like to charge it.
Sure thing. But this will do a lot more than just charge. I mean, I run my whole entertainment center and everything off of him. So, yeah, it's plenty of juice. Yeah, it's really. I started. That was not my battery of choice. That was the least heaviest one I could drag out here. I started out with like 12.5 volts, and that thing was a little bit worrisome. And she is with the draw on it now. It's at 13 too, so it's still going up, which is a good thing. Basically, oh, something wrong. Sorry. Basically, these are the solar panels that I, the real expensive ones. They use a little bit different system than what I'm doing. The batteries that. When I looked into the batteries that were from the solar panel companies, they were like a 12-volt battery, but they had like virtually no cranking amps, which made no sense to me. I mean, I don't know exactly how their boxes work on a different system that shoot the power back to the power company. And these solar panels here really aren't without a battery, a good battery. They're not going to be able to power a whole bunch. But basically what these do is that they'll keep a real hot charge in that battery so you can keep your inverter pumped up and it'll last a long time. Basically I can run my whole entertainment center room, 52-inch TV, like 600 watt surround sound, DVD player, lights, ceiling fan, and heating pad.
With just that,
with just that.
With just that battery that you got?
Well, I got three batteries. Okay, that power that inverter, and I can run that room for about 10 hours every other day, and so that knocked my utility bill down big time. At least on an average $40 a month. You can say that summertime, them things really get ripping though. The kids running around. Dad wants us to plug something in because you've got so much power, But
quick use it.
But essentially, the bigger the battery bank you have, wouldn't it be more?
Well, yeah, if you could,
They're coming out with some new batteries too.
They are. They do have the new batteries that are at Harbor Tools that I haven't checked out yet. Now, I went down and I got this Minn Kota. And then I got two of the big Delco Voyager 70 series batteries, and they're some real tanks. But boy, since I've charged them up and put them on this system, I have not had to touch them with a charger, not a once. So it kind of works. I think.
So it works like a trickle charger. This is just always giving it current.
Yeah, except it's not really a trickle. It's a pretty.
It's
well,
strong
you've seen
enough,
it when I hooked it up.
Right.
Kerwhack. And then there's some things that you can do to make extra power, but you really that'd be kind of an advanced course, I guess, because capacitors you can get.
Don't even go there.
You can get them to really crank with a cap, but that's the only thing is you gotta. It's a little trick on how to. You gotta make sure you drain the cap before you mess with them because the capacitor can really give you a heck of a zap. But,
How much does the whole rig cost to get started?
I put this one together for about $500. Panels, batteries, cable, and one of the most expensive parts that you look at, even at an electronics place, was the 2-gauge cable that you got to run from the battery to the inverter. You want to use the biggest, fattest stuff you can, and that stuff is very expensive everywhere but Summit or Jegs. Because it's the same cable that you use if you're got a Vega with a battery in the back and you use the cable in front. They used to have it on sale for like $35.
So in the scrap yards, you might be able to find it.
No, but you can get it at Summit or Jags. You can get the remote battery kit for like 500 horse plus. got him, and they're like $35. So that was the best deal on that I could find anyway. And then the little guy there, I got a piece of plexiglass cut out on that. And I can, I don't know if I got an extension type out here for you. I hate to have you.
No, you can unplug it. It's fine. I've got enough.
Okay. There we go. There we are. And, but this, I use on my little John boat, and I like just, this is just a piece of, masonite that I mounted the solar panel to. And that is like a welder's magnet for welding. And so you can just take this and it goes right on a metal seat, and stays there. And then I got this, I just took this here. It kind of took it off for today, but this is just silicone. So you don't, if something happens, it kind of protects the panel, and it doesn't seem to really affect its ability to charge anything. But you put start out with a charged trolling motor battery, and you can go out all day. No problem with that sucker. Just troll it, ride around on the lake, go everywhere. I've been out 5 hours and come back, and on a sunny day, it won't even hardly knock that battery down at all. So,
Fish fries win.
I'm telling you. Solar
Coming
troller,
soon.
man.
Coming soon, solar fish fries.
But it, there's just, that's what my kid says. You got to get Dad back in the box. You got to get creative. I just hate polluting anything, and free and good for the environment, and the sun's always there, so.
It's the thing, you think if Americans can get behind anything, it's saving money.
Yeah,
You would think.
To buy the CDs, they don't.
We need to rate
listen
Cuba.
Or go tell me to clean up a pile of scrap in your garage. I might come out with a bird.
So what do you think with Michigan? Do you think that you're better off to go with solar, or do you think you should try and stick with the solar wind hybrid, or
Well,
how do you think?
I'm working on something right now that I've already got down that it does work, and I'm putting the finishing touches on it, and I'm just trying to keep stuff real basic and simple, because that's the kind of guy I am. But I got this Vega that I used to kind of have a little bit of fun with, and they've come up with cooling fans, to keep the engines, 400 small blocks cool. And I got a real big radiator in it, but I got a pushing fan blowing air, and I got a pulling fan. And I got to thinking, why couldn't you take those two, put a 135 amp alternator in the middle of them, and stick that out in the wind? That would, and it'd spin, and it does spin, in fact, for a long time with very little wind, because you got one fan pushing, one fan pulling, and the alternator itself has got, is made to turn in that certain direction, so the air is coming through there, going through the alternator to keep it cool, and it's just like, and that was just something that you could adjust, and put out there on windy days. It was cloudy, and if it weren't picking up as much on your solar panel, or at night, you could keep your batteries going whenever. But that's my next thing that'll be coming up, and you'd be able to go to any junkyard pretty much and get the heart of the matter. Any Chevy fan, Ford fan, don't matter. They're everywhere. They're 135 amp alternators. It doesn't matter if it's a serpentine belt or a D belt or anything, because all that stuff gets taken off anyway with my design. And I don't make nothing. I never make any money on anything, so I just do this stuff and show it
Dare
to
you to
people.
make it famous, right?
Yeah, right. No, don't want no mats, red trucks running around town.
Right.
No, sir. I just do this to be a good neighbor. That's all.
Yeah, that's what we got to do, is show people how they can do it without being hooked up to the grid, without being hooked up to the TV, all that other stuff.
When consumers started telling me that when there was 4 people living at my house in winter, I was using less electric than there was when me and Shep was living there in winter, and I wasn't buying it, you know. And so this way, you know, I don't know, you can't keep track of everything, but by golly, at least you got something to barter with, you know. And they do recognize that you're using less to get something going like that. But it has brought my utility bill down about $40 a month, you know. So, and it's been real handy to have that 12-volt thing out in the yard a few times, because, you know, kids got to get the car jumped or something. Matt's car stalled again over by the back porch. Here's the jumper cable. You know, don't got to pull another, you know, around and then.
Look up to the sun.
You know. But
So you have a Vega?
yeah, it's 71 Vega wagon, the stroke small block, 427 cubic inches. Not a very green car.